One of the most frequently asked questions on my channel is, how do royalties work? A lot of you guys have been confused and you've gone through so many things, so many segments of disappointments. You've been ripped up. You've had so many issues with trying to understand what royalties are, the types we have, and how you can collect your royalties. So today, I want to show you guys my personal blueprint of how royalties work. This is not a fancy edited video. It's not meant to go viral. It is a video that is meant to give you the pure gems that you deserve. So if you are new to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe and turn on post notification, because there is so many parts of this video that will have a broader explanation. So I wouldn't want you to miss out on that. If you are someone that really wants to learn something about music, about royalties, about how to collect them and the type, and enlighten yourself and get inside, this is a channel for you. Without wasting more time, I'm going straight into the video and I'm going to show you every single thing you know from my blueprint, from my experience, and from everything I know about royalties. So stick around and turn on post notification. Now, today we have music royalties. Before I go deep into this table I created for you guys, explaining everything, every minor detail about royalties, I'm going to start by explaining what royalties mean in music. Now, music royalties are payments made to rights holders such as songwriters, composers, and recording artists for the use of their music. These payments compensate them for their work and allow them to earn a living from their creations. So, for a very long time now, I've always wanted to show you guys what these things mean and some of the little branches that better explain everything. If you are new to this channel, you will notice that there's this presentation right in front of you, and this is like something I've curated out of research and experience. I'll be showing you guys some evidences of what I've made from music, so it won't be really confusing. If you like this presentation style, drop it in the comments and make sure you follow up. Now, this is my statement for the royalty collection from 2021 to 2023. And you can see here we have $8,000. Now it's broken into little fragments. You can see here we have digital, mechanical, synchronization, print, digital performance, and mechanical. Now you'll be wondering what this means. Yes, this is why you are watching this video. So I'm really glad to share this with you guys, because it's something that I know a lot of people face every single day, asking me questions in my DM everywhere on the social media platforms that I exist. So let's begin by also acknowledging the types of royalties. Like you can see from this above diagram here, there's like digital, synchronization, print, and stuff. I just wrote down little notes here. You can see some of them, and I'll be going through them one after the other. So make sure you focus on learning what these types are and how every single one plays a role in your music release. So the first one here is mechanical royalties. We have performance royalties, we have print music royalties, we have digital performance royalties, and we have synchronization, also called sync royalties. I know you must have heard the name sync one time in your career. So basically everything you see here is supposed to happen after you've published your music and it is up online and people are streaming and playing your music from all around the world using platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Audiomack, and so many other platforms on which people release music using DistroKid, 1RPM, TuneCore. Depends on what you use. What you use does not really matter. What matters is the registration to a PRO, which I'll be explaining later in this video. Now, you can see here I wrote a little note. I'll be dropping this in the description for you guys to download and read at your spare time. So if you know you need this, just go to the link in the description and download it. But for now, let me explain what every single term here means. The first one is performance royalties. Now, what is performance royalties? Performance royalties are payments for the public performance of a song. Now, this includes live performances, radio play, TV broadcasts, streaming services, and even playing music in public venues like restaurants and stores. Now, come to think of it, have you ever imagined what it feels like to get paid for your song being played in a stadium? Now, if you are selling out a stage like in O2 Arena, just imagine the amount of money you will make from the royalties for performing in such big event space. Look, it is life-changing. So if you're an artist watching this, there's what we call performance royalties, and this is like the money you get paid for the performance of your music. Now, for some of you that don't know you are entitled to this, just know that it is very possible to get money from performances, not just the advance. You can get it from your PRO, which I'll be showing you guys the PROs you can register your song with so you can get your performance royalties. Now, the right holders for this are the songwriters, the composers, and publishers. Now, if you remember, I said your song needs to be published before you can get all these royalties. So the songwriters are those who wrote the song, which might include you yourself and maybe someone who is supporting and helping out with getting the lyrics all sorted. And then we have the composers, which are also the producers, like people that helped with the composition of the song. For some of you that will be asking questions like, yo, what does publishing mean? Now, publishing is the process of actually putting the song out and doing the registration and everything that has to do with the music, which includes the composition side and the songwriting side. Now, if you listen closely, you'll notice here we have the songwriters, composers, and publishers. So the little percentage being taken by your publisher is also like something you need to consider when you're trying to put this stuff up. You are not a one-man army. So if you have a right to a song, also know that your publisher, which is like your administration, is also going to be taking a little cut of it. And the composers, which are the producers and those that helped with the creation process, also take a little fragment of that. Now, for collection of your performance royalties, you can sign up for a PRO, which is performance rights organizations such as ASCAP, BMI, CESAC in the US, or PRS in the UK. And there are lots of other PROs in the world, but these are like the most popular ones. Me personally, I have been using BMI for like 3-4 years now, and trust me, it's been a great journey. So we have mechanical royalties. Now, what are mechanical royalties? Mechanical royalties are payments for the reproduction of a song in physical form like CDs and vinyl or digital downloads and streams. So if you signed up to a platform like DistroKid, like 1RPM, the money you get paid for your stream is called mechanical royalties. So let's say, for instance, you decide to print CDs to sell in a place like Alaba, or maybe you want to sell them in your hood or your street, you are going to be earning what we call the mechanical royalties. Just like the word mechanic, it means something that is actually factual. It's in real time. So yes, you get paid for digital downloads and streams, you get paid from physical form, and then this all converts into money for you. Now, don't forget that performance royalties are for performances and mechanical royalties are for the reproduction of a song. Now, the right holders also are the same: the songwriters, the composers, and the publishers. So the collection of mechanical royalties are collected by organizations like Harry Fox Agency in the US or the Mechanical Copyright Protection Society, MCPS, in the UK. So it depends on where you are watching this video from. You can also collect your mechanical royalties from the digital streaming platforms via your distributor. So don't panic. Don't panic. If you feel like these are big names and you are not in that region, you are safe. Now, the third one is synchronization, also called sync. And sync royalties are payments for the use of a song in audiovisual works such as movies, TV shows, commercials, video games, and online videos. So basically what this means is those are like royalties you get from movie placements. Let's take, for instance, your song ends up being in a Netflix original. The money you get paid for every interaction with that movie is called synchro royalties. So for those of you that wonder, how do they pay people on FIFA, on Call of Duty, and other video games? Yes, they get paid synchronization royalties. And the right holders for these sync royalties are songwriters, composers, publishers, and often the recording artist and record label for the master recording. So the music itself is being divided into so many segments, but this is not the purpose of the video. I'm just trying to explain what the recording artist and record label for the master recording means. So for the artist that made the song, they get a percentage of it, and then the record label also takes a chunk. But if you are independent, you get 100% and everything remains yours. So the master recording is the total percentage of the song itself. Who owns it can be determined by who paid for the session. I'll be explaining that in an individual video, but for now, that is just the explanation I have for you. So for the collection of synchronization royalties, these royalties are typically negotiated directly between the right holders or their representatives and the producers of the audio-visual work. So let's say, for instance, you have a placement with Netflix. You either send a representative to represent you, like let's say an Epidemic Sound or maybe a Sound Genie. There are lots of platforms that work as third-party representatives for placements on movies and video games. They can represent you and also make sure that you get paid for your work. So the fourth one here is the print music royalties. Now these are payments for the sale of printed sheet music. It's not really common. This is basically for those of you that do orchestral music or have the printed version of your music out there. So you can get paid royalties by getting your print music all sorted. And for this, a lot of people get the misconception of what it is. I heard sometime a friend tell me, like, the print royalties also can mean, let's say you make some kind of a composition sheet for your song and you want it to be played in an orchestra or in a big place. That royalties are like the ones you get paid for people interacting and getting that stuff to use or reproduce and perform somewhere else. So don't get it really twisted. This might mean a lot of things to different people, but trust me, collecting this one is not really that easy. I personally have not really collected much from the print side, so I don't have too much information about that, but I know this is something that people can benefit from, so you can make extensive research on that, and that's it for that. The collection of these can be collected by your publisher or organization like the Music Publishers Association. And then the fifth one is the digital performance royalties. Now, these are payments for the streaming of a recording on digital platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora. I know a lot of you guys will be asking, isn't this the same with mechanical royalties? No, not entirely. Now, you see, in mechanical royalties, we have the sale of CDs and vinyl, but here we have digital platforms. This is solely for digital platforms. These are like royalties collected still by your distributor, DistroKid, TuneCore, 1RPM, depending on which one you use, Symphonic Music. And you can use this as an avenue to like understand deeply that the segmentation of royalties is something that you need to sit down, analyze, and look at the bigger picture, because in the end of it, you can't just be taking only one royalty and leaving the rest dormant. So signing up for a PRO is like the first step into getting everything you deserve. And I'll be going into the next part, which will be showing you guys how like the organizations work and how you can get and utilize everything that's here. So let's jump into this part, which is the key organizations in royalty management. So we have performance rights organizations, which are PROs. I've explained what they are. They are like the body that help collect your royalties. They are rights organizations, as the name implies. It means they serve as an administration that helps creatives collect what they deserve in the music business. So we have the mechanical rights organizations, which is the MRO. Then we have digital performance rights organizations. So some of the example of performance rights organizations include ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and PRS in the UK. Then for mechanical rights organizations, the one that is most popular is the Harry Fox Agency in the US and MCPS in the UK. So for digital performance rights organizations, we have Sound Exchange. You can also register your songs with Sound Exchange, which I don't know the current price for it, but you can make your external research. That's why I'll be dropping a note in this video, so you can go just look up things online and see how you can sign up and register your intellectual property there. Which brings me to the part where your catalog is everything to you. This is everything in the music industry. Now, this is an example. This is my own catalog. You can see here I have songs with Rontan, I have with Fino and Olamide, Fino and Techno, I have with Ronda, Lighter, and these are like just some of the songs I have under my production credits. And as my catalog, it means the rights I have over some of these songs are what I can control. So using PROs and using rights organizations, I can actually decide what I want to do with them. And these royalties can be collected via an agreement form called split sheet. So whenever you make a music and then people are supposed to pay you, they send you a split sheet, and that split sheet is going to authenticate your rights over a portion of the agreement. Now, these are some of the factors that affect royalty amounts. The first one is the type of use. Now, the type of use can imply so many things, but the platform from which the song is being played or from which your audience are streaming the song also determines how the royalty amount is going to be paid to you. So here under the platform, we have radio versus streaming, and under context, we have commercial use and background music. This affects rates. If your song is being used for commercial purposes like advert, video games and stuff, you get paid separately in a very dynamic way. Then if it is background music for a YouTube video, it still might not amount to that much, but it's better than zero. Now, the market size and reach. Bigger platforms with larger audience typically generate more royalties. So yeah, a lot of you have heard that each platform has a way of paying. In my last video, I made an explanation and dropped a sheet where I was explaining how much each platform pays. So if you missed out on that, I'll be leaving that in the description also, so you can go and watch and see in the video where I was talking about how much I made from my music and how I make money. You can see that every single platform has their own segmented, specialized method of payment, and like some might not amount to so much, but yes, the market size and the reach also plays a huge role in why that happens. A Drake cannot be paid same price as someone that is just coming up, that just dropped their first song today. So licensing agreements also like play a huge role in the factors that affect royalty amounts. Now, specific terms negotiated between right holders and users can vary wildly, and sometimes if everything is done in your favor, you might end up receiving the bigger part of the share. But if you don't have an entertainment lawyer and you are alone, you might end up getting a little portion. But regardless, this is passive income. Like I said, it is the money you get paid as a compensation for your work. So if you have a lot of songs under your catalog, it's going to like catapult you and take you forward in your income level. Now, who gets paid royalties? The first person that gets paid is the recording artist, because they make the song and they have the creative freedom. They do everything within their power to make sure that the song comes out well, crisp and clean. Then we have the record labels. These are like those that pay for the sessions, pay for your promotion and stuff. And if you're independent, we skip the record label part and then we go to the distributors. Now the distributors are like I said, DistroKid, 1RPM, TuneCore, Symphonic, and there are lots of other platforms you can use. That reminds me, you can go to the link in my description to get percentage off for signing up on DistroKid and Symphonic. So if you want to get a distributor, that's easy. With like $20 a year, you are all sorted. So your distributors get paid the royalties and they pay you. Now we have licensing companies and sync agencies. In my video about how I make money, I also dropped a couple companies that help with licensing and sync. So these guys collect your money from synchronization and pay you. This might be a huge chunk, it might be small chunks, depend on the kind of music. And like I said, some of the factors also contribute, like location, the market size, and every. So the songwriters also get paid. These songwriters might not imply that they are recording artists. Maybe they just help with the creation of the song by assisting and rendering services of songwriting. Then we have the publishers. Now the publishers also are like the distributors. They help publish the stuff and act as administration for your musical release. So here we have the PROs. If you remember closely, this is like the performance right organizations here, which I mentioned. We have ASCAP, BMI, CESAC, PRS, and others. Now, if you look closely under the type of royalties, you can see here clearly that the 5 of them are not really the last part of royalties. You can earn royalties from different sources. Now, someone told me there's also the copyright, that's the content ID royalty, and I did not see it in any of the textbooks and stuff I was reading, so I likely just share that with you. So if you upload something on YouTube, right, when you add content ID on your video or your piece of content and someone uses it, you get paid the money for their ad revenue, which might sound like a mathematical blunder, because if you look at it closely, some people will think, why would you copyright an audio and let people use it for vlogs and stuff? It's also like sync royalties, you understand? So under synchronization, you can see here that it is payment for the use of a song in audiovisual works. So content ID does not really mean that you are a bad person or you are not doing something the right way, but it's just a way of protecting yourself from disputes and YouTube takedown. So I'll be making a video extensively about that. But if you want to have the content ID royalty, also in the description, I'll be leaving a link to my Waves Match account where you'll be getting 10% off. So if you're watching this video, make sure you pay close attention to how all these things work. I'll be making a video showing you guys how you can sign up for BMI, and how you can collect your royalties from every single platform. But for now, this is the little roadmap I made to show you guys and explain how it works. This was not made in one day. All this money you see right here was gotten over a span of years. This is 2021, 2023. So come to think of it, if you drop a song and you're expecting so much money immediately, it does not work like that. Once you create, you get a representative, which is the PRO, your music get played, then the intermediary collects and distributes the royalties, and then the money gets to your bank account. So that is basically how royalties work. In more videos, I'll be showing you guys in details every single thing you need to know. But for now, make sure you subscribe. Click the link in the description to get everything I told you, because I'll be leaving the notes. And if you are new to this channel, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notification. Drop in the comment the video you want me to make next, and I'll be looking through the comment and also considering the fact that there's so much that needs to be learned. I'll be showing you guys love by also checking out some of your channels, asking questions to analyze and show you guys what you can do to better off your music. I'm your boy Hitsound. Until next time, keep winning, keep making music, and make sure you subscribe. Let's go.